Drawing is the foundation of all art media, and it is so important to constantly be practicing and improving your drawing skills no matter what medium you use. In this do's and don'ts video, I'll show you 2 drawings I did from the same image of a fuzzy little kitten, one poorly drawn and the other one drawn with more care and better technique. Now before we go on, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you'll be the first to know when I release a new art video. And after watching this video, please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it and would like to see more drawing videos like this. Alright, let's start with the don'ts of drawing a realistic kitty cat. Don't use a dull pencil. Keep your pencils sharp so that you can create fine lines. Before I even began this drawing, my pencil was already a little bit dull, so my sketch looks too bold and amateurish. Don't rush the proportions. This is the biggest problem beginning artists have with sketching. In this version of my cat drawing, the proportions are close, but I didn't take the time to correct anything. For example, the angle of the left ear or the slope of the nose. Taking the time to get it right would have made this drawing much more successful. Don't use dark, solid lines for the edges to outline every shape. All of the edges on this kitten are soft and furry, so drawing my edges with bold, unhindered lines is literally going against the grain. This line on the top of the head looks cartoony and unrealistic because it doesn't capture how the fur is standing straight up. The dark outlines on the side of the face and ears fails to show any soft edges, and trying to add fur texture over the top will cause unwanted intersections and ugly crossed lines. Don't use your fingers to blend. Our fingers have natural oils on them that can rub off onto the paper, leaving permanent marks. Try to avoid using your fingers to blend. There are many other great tools that can do a better job anyway. Don't draw uniform circles for the whisker pads. This common mistake with drawing cats or dogs or any creature with whiskers is to exaggerate the dots on the face. Sometimes they really can look this circular and perfect, but most of the time you'll see fur overlapping those areas and a more subtle, soft line where the whiskers are growing from. Handle your pencil with finesse and use a light touch to better capture the subtlety and nuance of each shape. Don't draw the white whiskers with solid pencil lines. To me, drawing white whiskers on with a dark pencil line is just a lazy shortcut. Those whiskers in the reference photo are actually white, not black. So achieving the look of white whiskers requires a little more effort than just drawing them on directly. We'll talk about how to do that in the do's part of this video. Don't draw the fur with a messy back and forth pencil stroke. It's tempting to use a quick scribbling motion of the pencil to try and save time in order to quickly cover a large area with a dark value, such as on the right side of the cat's body, which is in shadow. Unfortunately, this just doesn't look good. Moving your pencil any which way looks sloppy and hurried. This messy little cat sketch, which took less than 10 minutes, is not a good example of realism. I simply didn't hold myself to a high standard at all while doing this sketch, and the result is cartoony and will probably end up in the trash. So let's talk about the do's of drawing a realistic kitty cat. To put this in perspective, this version of the drawing took about an hour in contrast to the more rushed sketch. Do use sharp pencils. Keeping your pencils sharp will help you draw finer lines, fill in the grooves of the paper more evenly, and capture more of the nuance and detail of your subject. I always keep a sharpener close by and use it often when sketching with graphite pencils. Do take your time with proportions. Something that can help prevent an elongated or disproportioned drawing is to hold your board at an upright angle. From there, carefully make measurements using tick marks to locate where you'll place key elements, such as the tips of the ears, the top of the eyes, nose, mouth, and any important shadow shapes. Do use soft, gentle pencil strokes to build up layers of fur. With a sharp pencil, begin to draw the softly shaded fur using a very light touch, moving your pencil strokes in the direction you see the fur growing in the reference photo. Generally, the fur originates from the center of the face and then grows out and away like sunbeams away from the forehead. Do use a tortillon to blend. A tortillon or blending stump is a cylindrical drawing tool tapered at the end in the shape of a pencil, usually made of rolled paper. This is one of my favorite tools for blending pencil. I generally start with some pencil marks and then go over them with the blending stump using various degrees of pressure, depending on how much texture I want to leave and how dark or light I want it to be. If your blending stump has some graphite residue on it still, you can even use this to draw with in areas that need to look soft and very light in value, such as on the kitten's chest and above the nose. Do use more pressure for dark detailed areas like the eyes and nose. There are areas where you will need to press harder to release more graphite onto the paper for dark values such as the eyes and nose. I used a soft, dark 6B pencil with a nice sharp point to draw the pupils of the eyes and dark rims around them. Then I softened and blended with the tortillon using plenty of pressure. Do create soft edges. For a realistic look, there should be a gradation from dark to light so that the fur almost appears to fade and disappear against the background. All of the edges can be created with gentle, parallel pencil strokes, feathering the pencil up and away at the end of each strand of the fur. Then you can blend with your blending tools to soften even more. Do use an eraser for white fur and whiskers. Now, to make those white whiskers stand out, I decided to draw some dark background to the left of the kitten. I try to make all of my pencil strokes even and unidirectional. Then I use one of my favorite tools for lifting pencil. This is just an eraser pen with a firm, skinny eraser tip that does a great job of lifting graphite in the shape of delicate lines. You can think of erasing as painting with white in pencil. Do take your time building up layers of fur. For the areas in shadow, I start with a mid-tone value using a medium pressure to color a large section, then blur it all with my blending stump. From there, I can begin layering on more specific sections of dark fur, always moving my pencil in the direction the fur is growing. Your pencils will get dull quickly too, so during this stage you'll need to sharpen them frequently. For the paws, I left some edges incomplete, and I think it looks more realistic this way than my first version, where I drew everything boldly. When we place the two drawings side by side, you can clearly see why it's better to spend the extra time on something. To me, the only things in the world that are truly worth doing almost always require some hard work and effort. Put in your practice time and it will pay off, I promise. I hope you were able to pick up some helpful tips for your own pencil sketches. If you want to try this drawing for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description with my reference photo, as well as all the supplies I used in this video. Check out these other videos with more tips for successful sketching, and I'll see you there.